Today we are doing something a little different. This is going to be a video essay, a slower, more reflective look on an idea that has been on my mind for a while. And it is a video essay titled We say that we love the past, the way it looked, the way it felt, the colours, the grain, the soft edges of a memory that's been replayed 100 times in our heads. And for a lot of photographers, myself included, that love has a medium, and it's film. The idea is simple. You load a roll, you shoot a few frames, and suddenly you have this bottled nostalgia. The warm tones, the texture, the mood, except not really, because the truth is that shooting film today will not actually give you the same nostalgia you were hoping for. We connect film and nostalgia because every memory we have before the early 2000s is on it. Family holidays, birthday parties, first day of school, all shot on 35mm, or in some cases medium format. It's printed, it's shoved in shoeboxes, it's under your mum's bed. So our brains hardwire that equation that film equals the good old days. But here's the thing. When you shoot film now, you are not photographing that world. You're photographing this world. And this world looks different. The reason those early 2000s holiday snaps feel nostalgic is not just the colour palette. It's the world inside the images. The cars, the clothes, the clocks, the payphones, the absence of a glowing screen in every hand. Shoot Portra 400 at a wedding in 2025 and you'll still see LED signs, vapes, smartphones and decor trends of the moment. Film stock can capture light and colour beautifully, but it cannot erase the cultural markers that tell you exactly when the photo was taken. Even the film itself is not identical to what your parents shot on. Kodak has reformulated Portra multiple times, Fujifilm has discontinued half its line, and chemicals have changed due to environmental regulations, emulsions are finer, and labs now process differently. So even if you load the same stock, you're not really getting the same result. It's a bit like trying to recreate your grandma's cooking with supermarket version of the ingredients. It's close, it's not the same. And most nostalgia we associate with film comes through prints, soft, slightly warped, maybe a bit yellowed with age. And today most photographers do not print, we scan and upload to social media, and those scans are run through modern sensors, sharpened, colour corrected, and output for the bright backlit screens that we view them on. So the film look that we fall in love with online is not the raw, imperfect, tangible look of 1970s prints. It's film processed with a modern day digital polish. And there's something huge that gets overlooked, which is sound. TikTok and Reels have turned this nostalgia into an auditory trigger. Listen to this, paired with this, for example. It moved you, didn't it? It made you feel something. The same way the sound of a film shutter, a vinyl crackle, the hum of a projector, the hiss of VHS tapes and them whirring back often does. It's not necessarily the imagery that triggers your nostalgia first, it's sometimes the soundtrack. You could take a digital clip from last week, layer it with the sound of Super 8 running through a projector and add some 90s pop track, and your brain instantly feels like it's looking at history. And it proves that Nostalgia is not locked into film. It is definitely built in layers. You've got sight, sound, texture. Film is just like one piece of that puzzle, which is why a digital image with a good film preset and nostalgic soundtracks can feel more authentically retro than an actual film scan with modern audio. Film purists hate that, myself included, but it just shows that nostalgia is an emotion, not a capture method. We're not cheating when we use tools to evoke nostalgia. We are just admitting that the magic comes from the total experience and not the medium alone. Nostalgia is comforting, and comfort is addictive. In chaotic times, we grab for what feels safe. You grab point-and-shoot cameras, you grab your Polaroids. The photography community has whole corners dedicated to recreating old looks. Sometimes it's art, but sometimes it's just mood boards with a shutter button. Film's slower process definitely feeds into this, but sometimes the feeling that we're all after has more to do with memory than chemistry. When you think film alone will deliver nostalgia, you risk making photos for the look instead of the meaning. Your work becomes about matching a palette and not telling a story, and your audience starts expecting one specific vibe from you, making it inevitably harder to evolve. The most powerful nostalgia comes from the subject, not the format. That birthday photo that you're thinking of in your head right now feels nostalgic, not because it was shot on 35mm, but because it reminds you of the cake, the smell of the wrapping paper, and all the people in the room. And film can enhance that feeling, but it cannot create it on its own. When it's intentional, nostalgia can be magical. Recreating family photos decades later, shooting a wedding on your granddad's lens, and just generally using film because you love its process, not because you're hoping it will time travel you. The key is to use nostalgia as seasoning, not as the whole recipe. So where does that leave us? We started with the idea that film could be a shortcut to nostalgia, that choosing the right camera and the right stock, we could step back into the past. But I feel like what we've uncovered is a bit more complicated. Film does not carry nostalgia, not by itself. The past is not stored in the chemistry used with film. It's in the world that used to exist and the people we used to know. And that world is gone, which is really sad, but we can't bring back the cigarette smoke curling through a pub in the middle of the day and the polyester shirts on display. We cannot bring back the moments where not a single person in the room had a screen in their hand. But what we can do is understand that nostalgia is a layered thing. Yeah, it's the visuals, but it's also the sound and the smells and the way that air felt on that particular afternoon. It's the story behind the image. When we shoot today on film, on digital, on a phone, we are not trying to literally recreate the past. We're building the future's nostalgia. These are the photos that someone decades from now will look back on and feel the same ache that we do looking at our parents' prints. And that should change the way we think about what we're making. Instead of chasing someone else's golden era, maybe our job is to give the next generation something worth missing. So yeah, shoot film if you love it. Use presets if they help you get where you want to go. Layer your work with sound and texture, but do not mistake the look for the feeling. Because the real feeling, the unshakable nostalgia, comes from living in the moment deeply enough that years from now, when someone sees your work, they can smell the air and hear the laughter. And maybe that's the line that we've all been missing, that nostalgia is not necessarily about going back, it's about making something worth coming back to.